every week. Catch it freshest on your TV. Field level football, Quan, Pat, and CT. On the field running plays for the 3P. And we shine lights, camera action when you see the team. Pick 6, touchdown when I got the ball. And if you think you in my league, tell them knock it off. Money calling every day and I just got the call. Reduction over projection, it's in us, we just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball.
Elevator going down. You are now entering the field level, the football podcast of the West Coast. I'm Pat. Quan just left. CT right there. Man, all right, Quan back. How y'all fellas doing tonight, man?
We're good, man. As you can see, I'm on the patio. I'm outside with the light hitting right on my skin. You know what I'm saying? Feeling real backyardsy, real camp-ish. You know,
camp-ish. All right, for sure, 100%.
You know,
shout out to that. CT, how you feeling, bro?
I'm great, man. Long day, but looking forward to getting on this tonight, man, and touching a lot of these topics. Some of the loop, but caught up a little while ago, and the Parrot's ready to be on as well. Shout out to Cadillac.
Yeah, shout out to the Parrot, bro, in the background. You know, last week the Parrot didn't make a sound. Tonight, the Parrot said I'm on the show. You know what I'm talking about? I'm
special
chilling.
Guest.
I'm eating applesauce. You know, having a good night.
Is it Mott's?
Come on, man. Is there any other? Come on, brother.
You got to try the mango one too.
The mango applesauce. Interesting. Man, well, let's jump right in tonight, man. Get tonight's show on the road. Get it going. Big news of the day was Trey Lance. Trey Lance had his pro day today. Pro day number 2. It was reported that this basically was a pro day that was written, orchestrated, planned out by the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan and quarterbacks coach John Beck were in close contact. Same John Beck that played for Kyle Shanahan in Washington. They were in close contact, and they also kind of coordinated this workout specifically for the 49ers. It was a 49er workout. 49er plays were ran, 49er concepts, the whole nine. Both the 49ers and I want to say the Broncos and Atlanta. So the 49ers, Broncos, and Atlanta were all in attendance for today's pro day for Trey Lance. I want to kind of fill you guys out first. I want to see what you guys have to say about it and touch on, if you can, watching Trey Lance today, the clips that we saw. Of course, we weren't able, it wasn't televised, so you weren't able to get in depth. But the clips that you saw today, watching what happened, Trey Lance pro day, Justin Fields pro day, who helped themselves and who hurt themselves, and or did they both just do so amazing that it now makes it a very, very hard call? CT, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'll go first. If you look at Justin Fields, a week and a half or so ago, his pro day was exceptional. Really enjoyed it. Felt like he can make all the throws effortlessly. And watching Zach Wilson in comparison, it was a razor sharp. You felt that arm whip. With Justin, it felt much more effortless for me. There you go.
That Lillis. Boy said Lillis. For sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, I just felt like he was a more natural thrower of the football and enjoyed it, and obviously it looks like him and Kyle have a pretty good rapport and had a chance to chat a little bit, which was cool. And, that whole time in the back of my head and through this whole process, I've been like, man, but I like Trey Lance. I really want to see more Trey Lance. And his pro day, I was very impressed. Maybe not as accurate as Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence or something like that, but dude can ball. Pat, didn't you say he was basically another running back? He got a running back.
Basically. Yeah, basically.
But has so much more that he can add to the game. His quarterback coordinator or coach was Quincy something. I forgot the guy's name, but
at North Dakota State.
Yeah, I want to say Quincy Adams, something like that. Sorry if I butchered his name, but dude put a solid program and schedule together for Trey Lance for his pro day in the previous one. Scripted NFL-like plays so that, it was more relatable to the coaches that were able to attend that. And, very thankful that he was willing to do another one, because some quarterbacks won't. But in this case, I appreciate that he was able to put that together and looking forward to, seeing how Kyle felt about it. For all accounts, man, a little bit I did get to see, it looked good. He can make all the throws. I don't think there's a question in that. Accuracy is still a question, to a certain extent. But I see that he's coachable. I see that that's somebody that you can mold. And, for Kyle Shanahan, and it's not a knock. He got an ego, for a good reason, because he knows what he's doing. So why not take somebody that you can mold and build them into what you want? In a lot of cases, you take somebody like a Trevor Lawrence and maybe even a Justin Fields, depending on how you see him. You may not be able to mold that type of quarterback as much. They may be who they are for their own unique reasons. But Trey seems like a big body of clay that you can kind of work with a little bit more and give it a little bit more time. So as far as who won, I'd have to review again. But based off of the little bit I saw, I'd probably go with Justin Fields. I thought he had a better showing overall. But I do believe that Trey Lance, there's so much more to look at when it comes to him. I feel like I know Justin Fields a little bit better. And obviously, Ohio State, much more prominent, a lot of spotlight, a lot of TV time. So you don't get to watch a lot of North Dakota State. But, in the glimpses I've seen of him, I'm still impressed. And I think he put himself in a situation where he could still arguably be that third pick. So we'll see.
All right. Quan, man, how'd you feel about it? I know you caught a little bit of it, pretty much as much as we all did, about 4 or 5 different clips.
Yeah.
Watching it, how'd you feel?
I will say I like him more now.
Okay.
I like him more now, and maybe not so much for like in regards to him, Lawrence, Zach, and Fields. I think I just like the person. I know CT just kind of touched that. He has an ego. Yeah, he has an ego, and it's for a good reason, because remember we talked last week about him being recruited by Minnesota, who's a Power 5 school, but they wanted him to play either outside linebacker or safety.
Yeah,
he said he was a quarterback, and the only school that was going to give him the shot to actually play quarterback and compete to start right away was North Dakota State. And then seeing him talk in the little clips of like the little interview process, I really like his makeup, man. I like that he said he's been studying NFL tape for the past 2 years.
Right.
I really like that. And now I would say in terms of one, I'm gonna say Trey Lance won, because when you have your whole pro day orchestrated around what the Niners do, right? And then you're not trading, and now let's look at the situation, Pat. And I know you're gonna break this down even further. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the opening day starter, barring anything
100%.
happen, injury, or somebody give you guys a 3 draft pick type of a deal, right?
Right.
He's going to be the starter. Justin Fields, I think, is more starter ready. I think if you bring Justin Fields, he can start right now because of him playing at 2 prominent programs, being for Georgia and Ohio State for 2 seasons. There's more tape on him. There's more game experience against better talent. So I think if you draft him, Jimmy G should not be there. I feel like Trey Lance gives you like CT said, kind of time to let him develop. But you've seen in today, in the little bit of a glimpse of Kyle Shanahan's offense, you've seen he can make the throws that Jimmy gets criticized for. So I think in terms of who won today, Trey Lance won today because of who would be picking him and who went to see him.
Great and awesome insight from my brothers, my co-hosts, Quan, CT. Appreciate y'all for all of the words that you did. But I 1,000% disagree. I think today I like Trey Lance so much less than I did yesterday. Just for a couple reasons. It's almost kind of like, man, if I could say it like this, it's almost kind of like, Lion King 1 was dope, right? Lion King, Simba, Pride, Rock, Mufasa, Scar was dope, 100%. They came out with Lion King 2, and I really wasn't feeling it as much, man. It was kind of like, man, they should have just left that alone. They should have left it with the 1. Today, I felt like Trey Lance's first pro day, loved it. Was amazing. So dope. So just power behind the ball. Just was killing it. Today, y'all was watching the same one I watched. I don't know. It seemed as though, interestingly enough, he had Jordan Matthews out there, former 49ers wide receiver, running routes. But Jordan was throttling down. He was, the balls where he had to slow down. He wasn't in stride. He had to throttle back to let it drop. He had to, kind of slow down at the top of his route to catch a ball. And I noticed that. And I was like, man, these cats is slowing down across the middle. Who's across the middle? You got safeties over there. You got Budda Baker across the middle, You got Jamal Adams across the middle. And these guys are slowing down to catch passes. I didn't like it today. Today, if I could be 100% honest, 1,000% honest in my thought process, my personal thought process, I hold the right to think whatever way I want to think. Today, for me, Trey Lance fell behind Mac Jones. For me.
Wait a
today.
Second. Wait.
100%.
Hold on.
100%.
No, wait a second. So is Fields behind Wilson then?
No.
So you have Mac all the way up at 3 now.
I have Mac at 4. In my top quarterbacks,
yeah.
I have Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Trey Lance.
Wow. I'm shocked to hear you say that, considering.
No, I'm shocked to say it. I'm shocked to say it because I really, really liked Trey Lance a lot. I still like him a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's in the grand scheme of things we're talking about here. We're not talking about, we're not looking at this, in this big, it's in the grand scheme of things that we're looking at in this little small vacuum, this small sample size that we got today. I just felt like the way the balls were coming out. So, and this was the throw, guys, that really got it for me. This was the throw. What was the signature throw that Zach Wilson did in this pro day? Escape left, roll out left.
Reset your feet and throw it, yeah.
Justin Fields, same throw, right? Same concept. Escape out left, roll, throw deep. Trey Lance ran the same exact concept, and it just did the fluidity and this motion of it. It was irky-jerky. It was like, get the ball downfield. He got the ball there with nice placement, outside shoulder on the sideline.
So what we talking about?
That guy's going out of bounds. But I'm talking about just the natural fluidity of how it looked in comparison to Zach Wilson and Justin Fields. It just didn't look the same. It didn't give me the same feel. When those two guys threw that pass at their pro days, it was whoo. It was claps. There, it was like, I see what he was trying to do.
CT, you got anything you want to add? Because I have a couple of things, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking the whole time.
Yeah. I don't really care about that throw. To be honest with you, bro. I mean, yeah, it looked nice. It looked nice. But if you're okay, but think about this as a coach, Pat.
I'm thinking.
You see a mold of clay that you know that you can make even better, right? In a Trey Lance. Right. There is a question of hip fluidity. I'm a trainer. Your younger brother's a trainer. That's fixable, right? There are some questions about decision making, footwork, different things like that. All things that Kyle Shanahan does well. That has staff that can help accelerate that process for the right prospect if they're coachable and if they can learn and sponge information. This young man's been studying, NFL film for 2 years, right?
Me too.
He'll pick that up. You know what I mean? If you give him the opportunity, he'll pick that up. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that, a spot like Atlanta wouldn't be good for him because he can sit behind a Matt Ryan and kind of take his time. I even believe if the Niners were to choose Trey Lance, that he would have 6 to 8 games, maybe even a season, depending on how stuff shake out.
100% a season.
So I'm good with that. If I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm good with that because I can't base it off the second pro day because I was asking him to do what I wanted him to do. I needed to evaluate how he do. You know he's not going to be the best in practice every single day, especially as a rookie. So I have to keep that in account. And if you know anything about the 49ers practice situation, Jimmy was at practice all the time. You know what I mean? I understand we're talking
100%. And I want to, because I want to jump in on you, and I'm a, Quan and CT, because Quan, I'm really coming for you today too, as well in this moment.
I haven't even finished. But go ahead.
No, because I'm coming because I see where you're going. I'm coming for you early. That way you don't get to me late. This is the issue. I sat back. If we drafted Trey Lance, would I be mad? No, I wouldn't be mad. I would be like, okay, we got a project, right? Something to work on for the next year and a half, right? This is where I got it, Quan. I went to your school of thought, so to speak, Quan, your school of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I said production over projection.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the projection for Trey Lance is huge. So then I went back and I looked at the production. In the FCS, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
His first full year starting.
His only full year starting. Yep.
Only full year starting. 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Ran for over 1,100 yards.
Boom.
Amazing. But then I went to his passing. Just a quick guess. How many times did Trey Lance throw for over 300 yards?
I would say probably 2 or 3 tops.
One time.
Okay.
That bothered me.
He ran for 1,100 yards, though.
Yeah, he ran, but this ain't, he ain't playing running back. That's cool, but he ain't playing running back in the NFL. And my issue with Jimmy is he doesn't put the ball in the air and get those yards that the Drew Breeses of the world and all those guys go get the 400 plus throwing yards. In this NFL that we play in today, if you're passing for 2 something, I don't know, brother.
Okay,
it's not exciting to me.
Hey, before you say anything, Q, let me just point this out. You mentioned how many starts he had. Isn't that the same amount of starts that Mac Jones had, though?
Yeah, but did Mac Jones have one 300-yard game?
I'm sure he had a few more because about 299 of it. But yes.
But I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I in the same time frame, he didn't have 1,100 yards, but he had 5,000 passing yards almost. Like it's like, it just, for me, that matters to me personally, and at the quarterback position. Go ahead. Come on.
Okay, so now we talking. Now we
hollering. Yeah, now we having a conversation.
Yeah, now we having a conversation. All right, so you talk about the 300-yard passing games that in this day and age, it's not going to get it done, right? Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson got it done, and we all know how much I don't like.
Did he?
Like
he got a Super Bowl?
Well, no, he didn't got a Super Bowl.
Okay, go ahead.
MVP though, respected.
All right, for sure. Go ahead.
But he got an MVP.
Oh, let me go to my research.
He got an MVP, and they've been in the playoffs every year he's been there, and that's kind of like the way every NFL team thinks. As long as we get into the dance, anything can happen. Now, I don't like him throwing not for 300 yards. We all know like that. But my biggest thing with Lamar Jackson, it ain't the fact that he don't throw for 300 yards. It's the fact that he only throws to the tight ends and over the middle routes. That's my issue with him. Now, put that to the side. You mentioned Trey Lance. The fact that his motion on that one throw that you didn't like. I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you and say I think you're being a little bit too hard on him as far as nitpicking, because Jordan Matthews didn't run routes for him last year. So the timing could not be there. I know at his first pro day he was throwing to his guys and he knows their speed. He knows how much air to put on it and how much air not to put on it. So I think you're being a little bit too nitpicky there, because like as you said, you broke that down and said you didn't really like it, but you then said also it got there and it was good ball placement. So I think we're being a little bit too hard on the little things like that. But yeah, and as far as the passing, if you're looking up some numbers, Pat, why don't you look up also how many yards that they ran for in each game that he didn't throw for 300 yards? Because I know their running attack was probably one of the better ones in the FCS in their division. So is there really a need to? That's almost like saying, does Lamar Jackson have to throw for 300 yards when they are top 3 in the rushing in the NFL every year? Like it's not needed. So
yeah, no, not.
And
needed.
On your team, on the Niners, we know y'all run the ball. We know that.
100%. 100%.
So it might not be necessary.
But for me, I feel like that's, for me personally, this is just like I say, definitely hold the right to reserve, my own personal thought process in this. I just feel like that's what has been needed. Like, I feel like that's what's missing for the 49ers. Jimmy G went out there and he threw for, I forget what was his 2019 stats. I could actually look him up, but he did that. He did the, throwing for freaking 290, 280, 270, he did that all of that year, and it just wasn't enough. You know what I mean? I feel like if we had somebody who went over and above that, that is when we get to be able to clear, where we were, so to speak, and really get into the meat and potatoes and stuff. Okay, so like I said, here I go. Jimmy G, in the year we went to the Super Bowl, threw for over 300 yards 3 times, threw for over 400 yards once. Imagine what would happen if you substitute some of these, 165, 151, what if those were 200 and 300 yard games? It adds another dynamic to an offense that's already deadly. Why? Because of the run game. If I make you respect my run game and I can throw for 400 on you, oh my God.
I definitely feel you on that, and that's why I said that's a fair point, Pat, because I wasn't. You're absolutely right. But I can also then turn around and say, well, if three 300-yard passing games and 1 400 passing game got you to the Super Bowl, and the main reason you lost the Super Bowl was because of your defense, not that one throw Jimmy didn't make because y'all was up already.
It was that throw. It was that throw. It was that throw.
See,
it was that throw. It was the 3 and out. 100% the 3 and out. Second to last 3 and out.
Maybe, but y'all was up by 2 scores with less than 7 minutes left. I mean, we could talk about the throw all day, but I'm just saying. But I feel because that is a good point. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Shanny wants to do. But I think Trey Lance's second pro day, I think it helped him.
What's up with Greg? So with Greg. CT, any final words on that? Are you good? You good off that? What's up?
It's up for debate, man. We feeling a certain way today. We're gonna feel a certain way next week.
He said we feeling a certain way.
And on the draft day, we're gonna put all that together and we're gonna come to a decision. So, yeah, I've spoken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. I think, and I still will say, over the course of time, as we move on to the next segment, over the course of time, I do believe that Trey Lance can be better. But I would take Mac over him for immediate success in the next 4 to 5 years.
Shout out McCorkle.
Yeah, I can't do it. Other big news that happened today, man. Longtime 49er guy was drafted in 2005, 4. Alex Smith, we know the story, we know the history, we know what he went through. Ended up retiring today from the NFL at age 36. Just a ton of respect for that guy, a ton of respect for the way he battled back when doctors told him that he might not even walk again, really. But for him to make it back to the NFL, be NFL Comeback Player of the Year, and retire on that note, man, tons of respect for him. Have to be brutally honest. When he was a Niner, wasn't the hugest fan. I'm not going to be that guy. I hate those guys. They're like, oh my God, I loved Alex Smith. I couldn't stand him. every time he dropped back the throw, I was just used to choke on my water because I thought it was a pick. But definitely respect the grind, respect the way he worked, the way he came back, the way he made his way back to the NFL. I respect the way he played in Kansas City. In that gap between, getting over to Pat Mahomes. I respect the way he played in Washington before he got hurt. So just tons of respect for Alex Smith. Great career. And that's all I got to say about that.
I'll go first because I want CT to clean up what I'm about to say because it is, yeah. Respect to Alex Smith on a great career. It started out rocky. We all know that. Started out rocky, number 1 overall pick. But he turned it around when Harbaugh got there and ended his tenure in San Francisco on a good note. Then he went to KC, did his thing. But let me just say this, man.
Say it with your chest.
Alex, I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to tell you, even though you retired, you're gonna celebrate your retirement, and then you're gonna have to knock it off forever. Because I'm not feeling the way you tried to out the Washington and tried to say all this bad stuff, like they didn't really want me to come back and start throwing people under the bus just to retire. I'm not feeling that. You could have just kept that to yourself if you was gonna retire anyway. Now, if you was going, and now it was reported that multiple teams wanted to sign him in this offseason period. He's already been talking to a bunch of teams, but you chose to retire. That's fine. But if you was going to take another job, then you could say what you said, like, oh, Washington didn't want me, but look, let's say Dallas wanted me, so look, I can still play. I'm gonna prove y'all wrong. You ain't proving nobody wrong now. You proving them right, and you still have something to say. So I'm gonna need you to knock it off, but enjoy your retirement. Congratulations.
Go ahead, CT. I'm over it.
Fawn, what the hell are you talking about, man?
I'm saying what I'm just saying.
Listen, bro. That was the number one pick in the draft, man. I understand he didn't necessarily come out with a Super Bowl. It's debatable. I think
he said didn't necessarily.
You could have won. You could have won with him in that Super Bowl, but you probably wouldn't have got past Green Bay without Cap, and I understand that. But Alex Smith turned out to be a pretty solid quarterback overall, man. Very durable, dependable. Not, a downfield thrower, but somebody who came up big in a lot of moments, man. Pat, you didn't know what was going to happen in that New Orleans Saints game, but that man showed up. He ran and scrambled that touchdown on that bootleg. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a memory, man. That's something that we'll have with us forever, and I've always appreciated him for that and how he battled. And you got to understand, bro, like, in this league, the quarterbacks that are really, really successful in most cases have consistency at the head coach position, have consistency in the front office, have consistency, with the offensive coordinators. He didn't have that. You know what I mean?
So nice.
We sit there and we criticize that structure is everything, bro. That's the way we operate. And, I feel like he gets a bad rap for that because he went to Kansas City and it wasn't that much of a problem. I mean, he was
good. He was good.
You know what I mean? That defense was a little suspect, bro, but he put them in a good situation. And obviously Pat Mahomes took them to the top. And I know the bird agrees with me. Shout out to Catalina. But yeah, man. So I mean, I think we got to put some respect on his name. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer, but he's a dang good quarterback, and he deserves to go out, on his own terms. And as far as
this bird got me rolling, cuz this bird going dumb.
But the fact that he mentioned that, I mean, like it shows what type of organization.
This dude, hey, CT doing the show from Rainforest Cafe tonight.
And the bird does not agree with all your Alex Smith points. The bird was cool talking about
the bird hot.
The bird was cool
talking about how good Alex Smith was. The bird like, nah, bro, it's bad.
Hey, the bird was cool talking
real
about
quick.
Trey.
Last thing I'll say, you know what Trent Williams went through, right? So for him to say that shows you a lot about where Washington is as an organization, man. I mean, who else were they gonna put in? That was their best option, except for Henneke. He turned out to be okay in that, for the end of the season. It ain't that funny. All right, that's it.
I don't know.
See, CT just really loves Alex Smith, bro. he's such a Niner. He's such a Niner. Alex Smith. We love Alex. Alex, let's be honest, man. When Alex was on the Niners, he was a dumpster fire. Waste management.
Until Harbaugh. You got to give him that. I would give him that. But hold on. But see, you mentioned Trent Williams, that Trent Williams was going through a lot of problems, which he was in Washington. They messed up his rehab, 100%. No disagreement on anything Trent Williams. But Alex they was going to me above and beyond.
Exactly. When that boy got hurt, they kept him on the team. They didn't cut him.
They could have cut him. They was paying that man, knowing he wasn't going to be available for almost 2 years.
But Pittsburgh didn't cut Shazier, so what's your point?
That's
he cut
different.
Down. He cut down.
Okay, and Alex is retired. So okay.
But look though, Here's the difference. When Shazier retired, they retired on good terms. Alex Smith retired and kicked everybody under the bus over there.
Well, he's not going to retire as a Washington football team person,
What's he going to retire as? What's he going to retire as? Oh, I thought he was going to retire as a journeyman.
Stupid. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. What is he retiring? I don't think he want to retire as a Niner personally.
It got to be a Chief,
my personal opinion.
Like you said, he had the best organization there. Andy
he had the best honor.
He had the best, yeah. Oh, question for y'all before we switch topics. Now that he's retired, what quarterback can we say his game matched the most? I got one, but I want to hear y'all because y'all gonna say I'm disrespectful. But I think it's a good comparison.
Of current players or all time?
No, players that are done already. And it could be super old. It could be our parents' era. It could be this era or whatever. Right before we really got into it, I got one.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Okay. See, you got one.
Matt Hasselbeck went to Seattle and started dogging.
He did, except in that playoff game, he got the ball.
Hey, Alex Smith.
I guess maybe Brad Johnson.
Yeah,
I think he was better than
Brad won a bowl. Leave Brad alone, Caden.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Brad got a bowl. Brad got a bowl, bro.
Don't do that.
Brad got a bowl. What do you want to say? Brad got a bowl. You can't take that away from that man.
All right, look, I got one. Chad Pennington.
That's terrible.
So does Tony Banks.
Chad Pennington is absolutely terrible.
That's a solid.
I hate that you said that. That's not a comparison. Alex Smith is so much better than Chad Pennington.
How?
Alex Smith is so much better than Chad Pennington.
Hold on, wait, listen. Didn't Chad Pennington make it to an AFC Championship game? Isn't that as far Alex Smith?
Alex Smith is so much better than Chad Pennington, though. That's terrible.
Brother, they both don't throw down the field. They both only made it to the championship game.
Not Alex's fault, bro. He can't bobble the punt.
As y'all see, man, another piece of information that happened on this week was that Aldon Smith makes his return to the NFC West, getting signed by the Seattle Seahawks. Things are looking up. Things are looking amazing. Aldon is back in the NFC West. Man, I was like, sheesh, I was wishing the Niners would have grabbed him. Didn't happen. And here comes the daunted deja vu. Here comes Aldon Smith getting hit with, was it assault? And what was it, a second degree assault charge that he got hit with today? Aldon, man, can't get right. I had a lot of high hopes for Aldon. People were asking me, do you want Aldon to come back to the Niners? You know, have him back in the Bay. My answer to that question was, I don't care how great he's playing. No, because I felt like this was a place of trigger for him. It was a toxic situation and environment. I don't know if the same people he was hanging around back in the day are still here, because it wasn't the team that he was with. It was just, random chicks that lived out here and people that he was associating himself with. And I didn't want to see him back in that situation. Why? Because I want to see the guy succeed. I want to see the guy do well. So I said, yeah, anywhere but here. So with this coming out, granted, innocent until proven guilty, I just hate that it's even a charge. Like, I just hate that it's even an allegation, that it's even coming up for him, because, he can't have that. The tainted and stained past that he's dealt with, he cannot have any blemishes that pop up on his resume right now. So I know Seattle put out a press release. I have to be honest, did not read it right away, and I'll actually look it up while you guys are talking to kind of give us some context. But CT, man, how you feel about what's going on with Aldon?
Terrible, man. Wasn't sure about him when he first came out, right? Didn't watch a lot of Missouri football, but quickly got on the scene, man, took advantage of his opportunities with a stacked defense, a legendary defense at that time. So it's sad, man, because, he's one of them cats that had so much potential, man, had, quality numbers, Hall of Fame like numbers early on in his career, and for him to kind of go down like that. And, we know people that have played with him in Missouri, you know what I'm saying? And people that have had experiences with him. And, it's just sad, man, not being able to get the right support system around you. Not everybody's fortunate like that, but, you just hope that he can get the right people around him going forward and just live, a productive life going forward. Move away from football because maybe that's just not it. But, yeah, man, sad to see that. Even if he was coming back to Seattle, which I didn't love, but just him being successful, man, making, a living and playing football, doing what he loves and coming back, I thought that was special. So it's unfortunate.
So just to give you context, the statement Seattle made is, we are aware of the reports regarding Aldon Smith. Aldon notified us, and we are gathering more information. We have no further comment at this time. Quan.
So I want to hold judgment on my full thoughts until we hear what exactly went down. But goddamn mosquitoes.
And just so you know, it is a warrant for a battery in the state of Louisiana, 2nd-degree battery.
Right. So I'm gonna just kind of hold my full thoughts, but just a little light. I don't even feel sorry. Like, okay, assault to me sounds like a choice. Now he could have been under something. He could have took something. He could have maybe relapsed on whatever his vice was. Which if that happens to turn out and be the case, then we know he wasn't in his right state of mind to do what he did. That's not an excuse. That's just the reality. And I hope for him. The only silver lining in this, Pat, is that when you just read that he's the one who informed Seattle. I think that goes a long way in maturity, because if Seattle would have got this on their doorstep from the commissioner's office or from the actual police department themselves, it would have looked a lot more worse. It would have looked like he's hiding something and he's not being, truthful. So the fact that he alerted them kind of saves him a little bit, at least for now. But when the full details come out, then we'll be able to really talk about it. But an assault charge, honestly, I would have rather seen something else. I would have rather seen him like maybe I check back in to a rehab facility. I'm trying to fix my old issue before it haunts me. But an assault, I mean, you put your hands on somebody. If this happens to be the case, we already knew he had, like you said, you mentioned the women. He already had a issue way back when with women. So I just hope it ain't what it says it is, man. I really do.
Reading down in Louisiana state law, second degree battery is with the purpose of causing physical injury to another person, by means of a deadly weapon other than a firearm. So
that could be a crowbar, a bat, a bottle.
Yeah, anything like that. So hopefully, like I say, like you said, also we hold the right to kind of say innocent until proven guilty. We don't have all the facts on it.
Right.
I'm just saying that it is definitely disheartening to even see it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, like I said, coming from the tainted past that he had. So Alden, man, hopefully this is a situation that you can grow from and get past. Hopefully it's not true. For your sake and for your career's sake. But, if he is on Seattle, I think he does provide them with a much needed pass rush that they've needed. He had a really good season last year early on in Dallas. So hopefully, he can get back to form and do some things over in Seattle.
Absolutely.
100%. Guys, we are actually 10 days away from the NFL draft. 10 days away from the NFL draft. Next, I got a gnat in my face. Next episode, we're all NFL draft. We're going to talk about NFL draft. We're going to break it down, give you our top 10 mock draft picks, the whole nine. With that being said, though, I want to talk to you guys tonight because we talked a lot about, San Francisco, the NFC West quarterback situation like that. Quan, you are a Las Vegas Raider fan. Las Vegas Raiders playing the AFC West. From your point of view, when this draft concludes, who will be the team that got better through the draft in the AFC West?
I'm gonna be a homer. It's gonna be the Raiders.
Wow.
Oh, a big shocker! It's gonna be the Raiders because the Chiefs can always get better, but they're already Super Bowl bound. Like the last 2 years straight. So, how much better can they get on paper? Not much. That's why I didn't pick them. I didn't pick the Chargers, even though their record was bad. They just have injury problems, and all of their major positions that like bring sizzle to talk shows like us and stuff, they're already filled. They got receivers, they got DBs, they got linebackers, and they got the quarterback. Now they don't have a tight end anymore, but I mean, Hunter Henry kind of came out of nowhere anyway, so I'm sure they can do that again. Los Angeles has a really good pedigree of drafting tight ends, a la Antonio Gates, pass it right down to Hunter Henry, so on and so forth. The Broncos, kind of, to me, same scenario. They got weapons everywhere. They had a health issue. Now they got to land the quarterback problem, but they have a running back. They have a tight end. They have 3 good receivers. They got DBs. Von Miller's back healthy. But the Raiders, I picked the Raiders because we don't have receivers as of proven commodities. The only proven commodity we had has left the building. So we have unproven commodities at receiver. I'll say Hunter Renfrow to me is proven. We have a tight end. We got a running back, but our defense, who's going to step up? Who's going to get their position took? Who's gonna be the free agent signing that was good and the other one that was bad? I think we have a lot of room for improvement there, and that's why I went with the Raiders being the most improved team after draft day, if they do it right.
CT, who you got, brother?
For all the reasons you said, is exactly why I'm not going with the Raiders. I would say the team that should improve the most is, I think, the LA Chargers. Herbert's second year. Defensively, they made some changes. Offensively, they made some changes. I really like Corey Lindsey. I hope I said his name correctly. That's the center coming from Green Bay, the Pro Bowler. Solidified our offensive line and had some leadership. Young at the tackle position, can continue to grow and blossom there. I think they still need to add a piece to their backfield, but overall, I think that they're the team that will show some growth and develop a little bit, make it a little bit more competitive this year. Justin Herbert challenged Kansas City, and I think he will do so going forward, with a little bit more time and a little bit more support. They have the weapons at receiver. We forget how good Keenan Allen really is. Mike Williams is a good comparable receiver, and they have some other guys that are a little unproven, but people that can step up. And I see them being a threat, and I don't see them having trouble scoring on the Raiders. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Quan.
No. I got a rebuttal, man. CT, you said that the Chargers gonna challenge the Chiefs, but didn't Raiders beat the Chiefs? Oh, wait, hold on, wait. The Chargers ain't gonna have no problem scoring points on the Raiders. Didn't we beat the Chargers too? Anyway, that's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Pat.
Honestly, so this is where it gets kind of funky for me. Naturally you start to look at the guys who are at the top of the draft, right? You look at the teams that have picks in the top 15. You look at, Denver, I believe, is at 8 or 9. And then LA, the Chargers are at 13. With that being said, I look at those two teams, I'm thinking like they can actually get a lot better, right? If these things are true, is it a chance, right, with Atlanta sitting at 4 and them really liking a quarterback? Let's say Atlanta decides they take Mac Jones, right? Let's say Atlanta decides they take either Mac Jones or Trey Lance or Justin Fields, whoever's there, right? Here comes a scenario where the Chargers just lost Hunter Henry. Can the Chargers land Kyle Pitts at 13? It can happen. It can happen. Why not?
He's not making it out of the top 10. That's just my opinion, my humble opinion. If they trade up,
I'm saying Atlanta right now he's slotted to go to Atlanta. But let's say Atlanta decides to go, quarterback. It could happen. Also, in the same vein, okay, let's say they don't get Kyle Pitts. Let's say they get a guy like Rashawn Slater, the offensive tackle out of Northwestern. to really shore up the offensive line for Justin Herbert and give him even more protection. I'm here for it. LA, the Chargers can get a lot better right there. Then let's go over to Denver. This becomes interesting. If the Niners don't draft Trey Lance, can Trey Lance fall to 9 to Denver? I think that's definitely a possibility. They were there today. They were watching. They were one of 3 teams that came out to take a look at him today. That'd be interesting for me. If Trey Lance can fall right there to Denver, we'll see what happens. You move on?
I'm just saying, man, Denver already took kind of a project with Drew Lock. Why would they want to take another project with Trey Lance? I think they're gonna take a more ready to go right now guy to push the start, which would be Mac Jones.
So
Negative, because Trey Lance is a higher ceiling platform quarterback more so than Drew Lock.
But Drew Lock could.
Lock ain't got enough keys for Trey Lance, bro.
All right, man. All right.
So if you ask me, I just feel like the team that can get better in this particular draft
is the Raiders.
Is the Chargers. For me, I just think the Chargers. The Chargers have a team that is very, very ready to win. You got to understand too. You always talk about the Chargers, Quan. How many key players did they have missing last year? Like, they had a lot of guys that didn't play. You had Derwin James, you had Melvin Ingram, a lot of guys that didn't see a lot of time. Hell, even Joey Bosa missed a lot of games last year. Eckler so you too. Have guys, Eckler too. You have a lot of guys that didn't do a lot. As far as when I say this, the reason why I say this, the Chargers right now, they have the 13th overall pick. They have the 47th overall pick in round 2. They have 2 third-round picks. They have a 4th, a 5th, 2 6th, and a 7th. There's a lot of opportunity to get better through this draft. Coming in with 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 draft picks in this draft.
Can you look up how many picks the Raiders have?
Sure, I have no problem with that.
And while you do that, let me just say this. Just like you said, Pat, at 13, let's say Slater's there. Second round, let's say you get one of the running backs from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, instantly. And then maybe in that third round, maybe you trade one of those picks and you get, I want to say, Brevin Jordan from the U. If you can't get Kyle Pitts, that's probably the second best tight end in the draft. I'm telling you, it's simple. There's a formula there for them to be very successful and really take advantage of the talented pool that's in this draft.
So the Raiders have 8 picks. I will also say, watch out for this guy. He played an H-back position at Duke. Watch out for Noah Gray, tight end, as a late day 3 guy that might be somebody to keep the eye on. Just putting it out there.
Okay, we'll do. But we have 8 picks, right?
Yeah, okay. 8 picks. Miles had a question as we get ready to wrap up tonight. Is there a possibility that the Jets take Justin Fields?
Absolutely. I think that's a good point. I think there's a big possibility they take him because the Jets don't have a running back. So I think Justin Fields might be needed. His skill set might be needed to add something to the running game while they try to incorporate whoever they put back there. I think that might be necessary for them.
They do have what's his name? Dang, I feel bad. He played for us too.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody.
No, he's all right. He's
you don't even know his name. What's his name?
Oh, Coleman. There you go.
Oh, sorry, they got Coleman now.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to stay healthy. He's good when he's healthy though. But
this is where I talked about this the other day in the barbershop. Come see me at the Dog Patch Barbershop in San Francisco, California. This is what I talked about the other day in the shop. I said if the Jets took Justin Fields, and let's say that was the Niners guy, right? Let's say Justin Fields was the Niners guy, and the Jets take Justin Fields. I believe that there is a situation where the Niners panic and pick not with full thought and go and get like Mac Jones or Trey Lance just because they're scrambling and not really, it didn't go how they thought it was going to go, and skip over Zach Wilson completely.
I can see that just because of your situation. Like I said, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Fields, and even Mac Jones, to me, they are all either starters or they can push to start right now. There's no reason why Jimmy G is on the roster if you're going to get someone who could push to start. That's just my opinion.
So Miles says, don't you think the Niners moved to that spot because of the relationship with Rob Saleh? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that they probably tried to get to 2 and Rob was like, nah, so they went to 3 and such was life after that. I don't think it's a situation because of the rapport that they have with Rob. I think that, they're at 3 in spite of Rob, I think. I think that there is a relationship there, but this is competition. I'm not going to help you.
We not
I'm
boys
not
no
make it
more.
easy on you.
I'm
not going to make it easy on you. You're not going to know who I'm picking until the card is in. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's kind of how the way the cookie crumbles on that. But yeah, man, I hope if the Jets were to take Justin Fields, and let's say Trey Lance or Mac Jones was the guy for the Niners in the middle of a situation where they thought that they wouldn't have Zach, does that bump Mac and Trey out and they have to go with Zach?
I don't know. I think they're still in play even if Justin Fields is off the board. I think their guy is Trey, but that's just me.
I think that I'm gonna give you the very football answer. You stick to your board.
I hate that. I swear to God,
you do.
That's terrible. Trevor Lawrence is there. I'm sticking to my board.
Hey, yo, we never talked about Trevor Lawrence's comments neither. Maybe we'll get that next episode.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not picking him. Miles says so. You pick Lance over Zach if they're both. Dang, I went away for a second. I'm back. Miles says, so do you pick Lance over Zach if they're both there? No. Heck no. I want Zach Wilson.
Then if he's on the board, then you have 7 minutes to pick. You got 7 minutes to trade Jimmy. You better take what you can.
Man, I hear you, brother. But let's say, all right, here we go. April 29th, NFL draft. That is just a mere 10 days away. A mere 10 days away before the NFL draft. So next week's show, we're excited, we're elated because what's going to happen next week is that all next week, we're talking all draft. Our show will premiere April 26th, 8:45, 9 o'clock on Monday night. The NFL draft will take place Thursday night. So we got to understand, we got to be locked in. You got to have your boards up. Hey guys, top 10 picks next Monday. I need them. I need them in. Who's going first round top 3 receivers? Essence says, and we're getting ready to close. Who's going first round top 3 receivers? Easy. Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, and Jalen Waddle. Not in that order particularly, but maybe the order would be Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and then Jalen Waddle would be the top 3 receivers taken in this year's draft in that order. But yeah, man. So make sure that you're following us on Instagram at the Field Level. Make sure you're following us at the Twitter on Twitter at the Field Level 1. Y'all get them boards ready, get ready to rock. Any final words, Quan, CT? Final words.
I can't wait for next week's show, man, because I really want to know our first round mock draft. I really cannot wait to get to it. It's gonna be spicy.
CT.
Yeah, time to hit the books a little bit. Just excited to finally get that mock draft. But we've been talking about it for a while, so it's good to finally put that up, post it, and live with it. I guess this will be 1.0, and we'll probably have an opportunity once or twice to relook at it, revamp it if there's trades involved and things like that. But it'll be smooth to put that up on the board, and I'm looking forward to beating both of y'all. So it's good.
Never that. It's the Field Level Football Podcast of the West Coast. Elevator going down.
every week. Catch it fresh as on your TV. Field level football, Quan, Pat, and CT. On the field running plays for the 3P. And we shine lights, camera action when you see the team. Pick 6, touchdown when I got the ball. And if you think you in my league, tell them knock it off. Money calling every day and I just got the call. Reduction over projection, it's in us, we just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball.